when shooting the dress or jewelry, I always have a member of the wedding party there with me, because if anything gets broken or lost, I'm not going to be blamed for it. And it really helps to also get to know a member of the bridal party a bit more, which helps them open up later. They're more willing to help you later if you need something. Hey, welcome to the Beginner Photography Podcast. I'm your host, Raymond Hatfield, and each week you're going to learn tips and tricks from me and some of the world's best photographers on how you can use your camera to capture beautiful images. In today's Rewind episode, I'm taking you with me to shoot a wedding. But first, the Beginner Photography Podcast is brought to you by CloudSpot. Everything you need to build a thriving photography business. Impress your clients, deliver a professional experience, and streamline your workflow all in one platform. So grab your free forever account today over at deliverphotos.com and only upgrade when you and your business are ready. So like I said, you are coming with me to a full wedding day. I mounted a GoPro to me, as well as recorded some audio on my Apple Watch to record some behind the scenes so that I could talk you through what was going through my head and the decisions and honestly mistakes that I made as well. You're going to discover the importance of preparation, from equipment to wedding timelines, ensuring that you stay composed and ready to shoot the couple's special moments confidently. We're going to talk about the gear that I used, how I set up portraits and posing. I'll walk you through how, to prepare for the day in the beginning so that you don't screw up and maybe call the couple by the wrong name. That's terrible, trust me. And you're also going to learn the questions to ask yourself at the end of the night to refine your skills so that next time you go to shoot a wedding, you're going to be able to tell that story beautifully. So with that, this is a long one, so buckle up. Let's go ahead and get on into today's episode. All right, it's wedding morning, so I'm on my way to a wedding right now, and I thought that I would just kind of bring you along with me, kind of share some thoughts that I have throughout the day. And I don't know, just in the hopes that this might be helpful to some of you. So I thought I'd start off with like what happens before the wedding. So for me, I find that on a day where I have to be alert creatively, it helps for me to make almost no decisions before the wedding, because then that can take away some of that brain juice, I guess. So one thing that I do every morning is that I have the exact same thing, or I do the exact same routine, right? I get up, I have coffee, I kind of chat with the family for a bit, I have the exact same breakfast every time, I make sure that all my batteries are packed and that they are put away. Everything that I have is working. And unfortunately, this morning, I discovered that I always bring 3 flashes with me to a wedding. Typically, I use 2, and if one fails, then I have a backup, and that's typically enough for me. But I found that 2 of my flashes are not operating properly, and that's bad news. And that's bad news for 2 reasons. One, I kind of have a look that I do, right? Like I said, I'm kind of a creature of routine, a creature of habit. So I like to put my flashes during the reception. I have one off-camera flash off by the band, and then I have one flash on camera to illuminate the scene for a reception how I like. So I'm hoping that they will start operating properly by the time I get there. I took out the batteries. I don't know, let them breathe or something. Sounds dumb, but I'm trying for anything right now. So there's that, obviously. And then the other reason why this is bad is because after, 2 weeks of beautiful sun, perfect weather in the 70s, just, like a second summer, it's pouring down rain today, and it is projected to, and it looks like it is going to be raining from noon when I get to the wedding until 8 p.m. when the wedding is over. And that is very bad because that limits going outside. So that means that all the photos are going to have to be done inside. And on top of that, the entire wedding is in one location. The getting ready, the ceremony, and the reception, all in one location. I Googled it because I'd never been there before, and it is a very old, very dark wooden church, and that means I'm gonna have to rely pretty heavily on flash today. And if I only have one flash that's working, I'd be lying to you if I said that I wasn't nervous. But I'm still gonna do the best that I can, obviously. Always keep an eye out for pockets of light. So if something bad were to happen to one of my flashes, essentially what would happen is the only other option is to crank up my ISO to, 1 billion and be able to get a proper exposure. And I'm not scared of doing that. It is just simply that having the additional light is just better. It produces better light, and it looks of a higher quality. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, I guess. So we'll see what happens when I get there. I guess I'll give you another check-in when I arrive and see if any last-minute thoughts come to me before I head in. But before I go, I thought that I'd also share one thing that I do before every wedding. Like I said, I'm kind of this creature of habit. So I always stop at a gas station right before a wedding, typically to fill up my car. And on top of that, even though the couple and I have had conversations about being fed during the wedding, eating dinner with the guests, just so that I can, be there in case something happens. Oftentimes, the couple will finish dinner before everybody else, so then they're going to get up and then they're going to start talking with guests that have come and saying, thank you for showing up. And then that's when I have to essentially get back to work. So I try to be there while everybody's eating dinner, but sometimes, as I said, it doesn't happen. So I always stop at a gas station and get the exact same food items, snack items before every wedding. And that is 2 protein bars, some beef jerky, cashews, and Red Bull. Now, this is obviously not a sustainable diet, but I found that those are the things that can get me through if, say, I show up and everything's kind of running behind and it's hectic, and by the time dinner comes, I'm still working and I have to work through that and I'm hungry. There's always some sort of moment, typically after the first dance, or if there's time between the getting ready and the ceremony, I'll head up to the car, maybe drink half a Red Bull, have a handful of cashews, a piece of beef jerky or 2, and then I can get back in, not miss anything, and then not be starving as well. Because one thing that I have found is that if you are really hungry, that is going to affect your creative performance. So even though, like I said, it's not an ideal diet, don't show up to a wedding hungry and expect to be fed, because even if you have those conversations, sometimes things happen. All right, so luckily I made it with some time to spare. I always try to do that. You never want to show up, feel like you are behind the gun, and then have to kind of grab everything, scramble, and run in there and whatnot. So I always try to show up early. Obviously I did again this time. And now what I do is I always send my couples a questionnaire a month before the wedding, basically just asking them to confirm any last minute details, obviously the address, the time in which they want me to be there, any special events that they have planned, if maybe it's a special cake cutting or special exchange of something, whatever it is, just so that, again, I'm prepared. So now is the time where I just kind of go over that questionnaire and kind of get into that space mentally, so that when I walk in, it's not like, okay, are you ready for the thing? And I'm like, oh, what? So I have found always to be super helpful. So after that, I'll go in and introduce myself to the bride, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to read to you the wedding day timeline in which the bride sent over to me. And remember, it's all in one location. So the getting ready, the ceremony, and the reception, all in the exact same location. So typically when that happens, you can get through things pretty quickly, because there's just less logistically that you have to deal with. So I'm about to walk in at noon. It says noon, Raymond arrives, noon to 1:30, groom and groomsmen pictures. That's a lot of time. Let's see, at 1:30, pictures of bride and bridesmaids with their title robes on. The bride and the bridal party showed up at 9 a.m. So that means, I'm assuming that they've been in their robes since then. 1:45, pictures of mother and bride, a mother of bride zipping up the dress. 2 p.m., pictures of bridesmaids seeing bride in dress for the first time. 2:10 to 3, bride and bridesmaids photos. I'll be honest, that's a lot of time. That is a ton of time that I don't think we're going to need. I'm going to have a ton of time just standing around. 3:20, picture of father of bride seeing bride for the first time. 3:30 to 4, wedding ceremony. 4, family photos, bride and groom, wedding party photos. Yeah, because there's also not a first look. 4:30, photos of bride and groom. So I have an hour with the guys, an hour with the girls, and then only 30 minutes of photos with the couple. That's funny. And then from 5 to 8 p.m., it is the reception. So that's kind of the breakdown of how this is going to go. And I promise you, there's going to be a ton of time in between there. And I'm just going to do my best to kind of walk around and try to find some creative patches of light so that we can get some interesting portraits. Because if we're not going to be able to go outside today, which right now it doesn't look like it's actively raining, but it is incredibly windy and kind of in like there's nowhere really nature-y to walk around in. That means that all of my portraits are pretty much going to be done inside. So it's going to be keeping an eye out for locations like that. I will say right now, I typically before every wedding, like right before I go in, I am very nervous. I got butterflies fluttering about in my system, but right now I don't. And I don't know why, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if it means that I'm totally prepared, which I do not feel that way, or if it means that I am blissfully ignorant of what I'm about to walk into. And yeah, well, I gotta say, this is a very strange feeling. I've never felt this calm before a wedding before. And I guess we will see at the end of the day if this is a premonition or if it was just ignorance. All right, let's go inside. All right, so at this point, I walk in, I say hi to the bride, I say hey to the groom, I say hey to the planner, and then I just kind of get my lay of the land because I'm assuming that I'm going to be shooting inside this church all day. And this is where that audio would go if I would have hit record rather than stop on my watch. So I apologize for that. So this clip starts when I walk into the guys' dressing room where they, are just putting on their cufflinks before we go outside, grab some groomsmen photos. There's also a young kid in the room, so you're going to hear some baby talking. And I apologize for how much breathing there is and how disturbing it is to hear somebody breathing this much. So again, I apologize. These aren't the best mics in the world. And yeah, if you can put up with it, I think that you're going to learn something.
And they're like, well, send us your address. They mailed you? Because they were like, we got hundreds of them at our house. And they mailed it to me, bro. Signed. That is sweet. Like 6 months later. That is sick.
How's it going? I'm Raymond.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Trey.
Trey. So what do you guys got left? You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm
ready to go.
I got to do a little something with her.
Okay. The cufflinks?
Yeah. Usually.
Are there, let's see, you got holes. So they replace these buttons right there. So you just put them through the same hole and then they come out the other end.
Okay. So these right here. What up, dog?
I need to unbutton the top four, not counting this one.
Okay.
I don't know if this would be a Midwestern wedding if it wasn't open containers of rain.
Oh, it's a little wild.
It's true Midwestern wedding.
I'm already sweating. Dude, talk about sweating. I brought extra underwear for the ceremony.
Are we going out of this room soon, or are we staying here for a minute?
Well, I guess it depends on when you guys want to get photos done. I know that it's scheduled like over the next hour, so we have quite a bit of time. Are you looking to?
I'm looking to not sweat through.
I was thinking,
right.
I need to go outside.
Then I'm gonna head outside, try to find a spot,
okay,
and then I'll come back in, grab you guys, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Of course.
Hey, we're gonna go outside.
All right. Crazy windy. Let's see what we can find as far as a spot for some groomsmen photos. I know that we got construction over here, but I want to see what's on the back side of this church. That's not bad. But then, really looking up at everybody, aren't I? Okay, it's a contender. It's a contender. Probably just have everybody here. You know, the one good thing about this weather is that there's no harsh sun. That is for sure. Looks like we got a little park or trail over here. I'm gonna go check out. What I'm looking for when looking for a spot for groomsmen photos is a decent background, like a clean background. That's really it. And then if the light lends itself to it, then wonderful. But we can kind of see through these trees here that we have a house. But we do have some greenery right here. That's not bad. Just photograph them this way, get the trail out of there. Probably have them stand in some of these leaves. Just stand right about here. I'll be right there. In the background one more time. Yeah, I mean, to me it says November. I think that'll work. So I think I'll do a group photo of all the guys up here in front of the church, and then all the individual photos back down the trail. All right, so I go inside, I grab the guys, and then we come back outside to take their photos. Now, when it comes time to grab groomsmen photos, I find that guys are actually more camera aware or camera conscious than women are. So I really try to start off being super relaxed and then slowly build up on, I guess, what I asked them to do. So I noticed that they had some whiskey, so I recommended that they all start off with a drink, as that is a pretty easy ask. And then I take, a few photos, and then I just walk around them grabbing some candids while everyone just shares stories and then they laugh and whatnot. It's those photos of all the guys laughing because of the stories that they're telling that I find to look truly authentic and real in that moment. If you ask guys to just laugh, it doesn't feel authentic. So that is what you're about to hear.
Go David on this one. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Have you guys bring the cups together right in the middle? All the glasses together?
You guys are going to look like alcoholics as much as you are. Let's go.
Perfect. You guys are good? Enjoy.
You've already drank all theirs. So I was in the bridal party. This is the last wedding I did. And she,
I know the guy.
I know.
I know the guy. Yeah, I know the guy. I know.
And she's a little loopy too.
She's very loopy. Don't hit the ball. Oh, God.
As we were doing our walking down as couples, she's sitting there just bawling, crying because she doesn't want to do it. And I'm like, look, if we're gonna walk away, now's the time. And then music starts playing, people start walking down, and she's crying, and I'm like, link up with the girls, let's go. And I go, but I'll tell you what, when those doors open,
Make it
no, she looked fine. Wow.
She didn't have the red crying eyes as she was walking down?
Did not.
Man, that's crazy.
Feels like he's done this a lot.
Done this a couple times. So Kristen was like, this is a beautiful scene, like when the trees are, have leaves on them, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, oh my gosh, it's winter, it's about to be winter time. I wonder if there's gonna be leaves on trees. I said, don't worry. My parents still have leaves on their trees. We pull up last night, the leaves were gone. We pull up here yesterday, the leaves are gone. I was like, it's
Right
okay.
at the cusp. All the leaves are like,
You're like 3 days late.
3 days too shy. Yeah. We'll have to lay on the ground to make it simulate that there's.
so rain and the leaves just hang out like, all right, we doing this or no?
Yeah.
Go now.
Let's go now. I will say it's not raining right now, knock on wood. The wind is the wind feels great.
Yeah, wind's good.
Right? Yeah.
that
Lift up the arms a little bit, get some airflow.
You just see steam come out.
Get right in.
The girls will have fun with their hair during pictures.
Absolutely.
I know, I was looking around, I was like, what are we going to do for that? Because obviously if it's raining outside, we're not coming outside,
Right.
is what that's going to be. Yeah.
Everyone huddle underneath the arch.
We'll make it happen. Come on, we're all family now. We can do it. We can do it. So I think let's go ahead and take the drinks, and then we'll go over there.
Okay.
We'll do some walking shots, and then we'll just take some portraits of everybody, and
That works.
pretty much after that we're done. You know what I mean? So
It's easy to be guy, isn't it?
it is.
Easy. We're like, guys, get there 11 o'clock and start getting ready. We're like, is that 11:45? Yeah.
11:55. We're like, all right, we have to get up now.
I'll have you guys come down here a bit. All right. We'll just do some walking shots here. Yeah, I think we'll keep the glasses
Down low, like
gentlemen, of course. Yeah, of course.
peek you out.
Always. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna have you guys here. I'm gonna be over there, and then we're just gonna walk that way towards me. Yep, yep.
So we're gonna have our drinks out.
Yeah. All right, so when you guys are walking, just nice and slow, all right? Gentleman's walk, it's Sunday. We're just hanging out, all right? Yeah, you guys can look anywhere you want to. You guys can look at each other, look up at the sky, do whatever, find a squirrel. Don't look down at the ground. That's very boring. Nobody likes photos of just the forehead, especially when you're going bald like me. Those are the worst. All right, I'll have you guys just start walking my way. I'll have you guys look over at David. Give him a cheers. There you go. we're all walking at like a sloth's pace. You guys can pick it up just a bit more than that, yeah. Everybody get in nice and close to David. Like we're all cold. We're all gonna bundle up, right? Oh yeah, just like that. Yeah. He's telling you guys something really important. How can you not? Perfect. And that's it. You guys did a great job walking.
We did a great job. We graduated the walking scene.
All right, so we're just gonna do some portraits of everybody, all right, with David. So David, I'm gonna have you come over here. I'll have you stand right here in the leaves. There's plenty of leaves over here, right? You'll be standing right here, and then we'll just kind of rotate between you guys. We'll have you come in, stand right next to David. We'll just get a quick portrait with you. Maybe we'll put down the glasses for these ones.
Yep.
And let's see you, Jesse. Thank you so much. All right, and then I'm gonna be right here if you guys just wanna face me in this direction. Nice and close. I would say just put your hands in your pockets, just nice and easy, all right?
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's more.
It's a little bit easier, right? Perfect. Just I'll have you guys go ahead and look at each other. Think about your past together and all the fun times that you had. And then go in for a kiss for me? No, I'm just kidding. All right, go ahead and look back at me. Perfect, just like that. All right, thank you so much. We'll switch out.
Hey, wouldn't say I wouldn't.
You go, perfect, just like that. I'll have you guys separate. Just put your hands in your pockets so that the album looks right. There we go, just like that. And then once again, just go ahead and look at each other. Stare into those beautiful eyes. Yeah, just like that. One more right back at me. Yeah, there you go. Just like that. Awesome, thank you. We still recording now? I think so. Is this more of a business relationship?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's the only reason why he was invited. Perfect. Go ahead and look at each other. Smile. Get it nice and close. And then one right here. Perfect. Just like that. And then we'll do one with just everybody one last time. We'll just stay right here. All right. I like this background. And then everybody, once again, just kind of relax, just hanging out, put all your weight on one leg, right? We're just hanging out. Yeah, just go ahead and look right at each other. Just hang out with each other, right? Just like that. Hey, look, I'm David. Hey, it's my wedding day. All right. I don't think I've ever seen a Fonz at a wedding. It's got to be the first. And then I'll just have everybody just looking right back at me. Right there. 1, 2. Got it. You guys nailed it.
Please.
That's it.
Did you want a drink photo of yourself, David?
I'd rather get the vehicle.
Maybe
Oh.
staying.
I'd rather get a vehicle.
It's just staying.
Are we gonna run across the hood? It is right next to the other car right there.
Pull out in the grass or something.
Ooh.
Keys, so
There's plenty of parking space right here.
Yeah, that works out perfect.
I'm gonna grab my keys. Huh? What? I'll do a burnout like you can walk through the smoke. That one's me.
I did that once. I had there was the groom's brother or something worked at Dodge, so he had like one of the first Hellcats or something. Wow. So at the wedding, his thing was like, I want to be standing like with my bride in front of this Hellcat, just like, you know, doing a crazy burnout. Yeah. And it did not work because the wind was going like in the opposite direction. Yeah. And I was like, well, we tried. You need new tires, but we tried. Like, he was going for it. Like, it was a solid like 40 seconds. And I was thinking to myself,
going the opposite way.
yeah, and I was thinking to myself, we're just gonna hear like a blowout right now, any second now. Luckily, it did not happen. David, I think I'll have you standing right here, right at the front. Can we lean up against the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll have you lean up against it, right?
If you want.
Oh, you want to slide across?
A little white stick.
No,
I don't know how to slide.
I weighed myself for one guy.
Yeah.
This dude, you're good. Look, we're good.
And then everybody else, we're gonna come hang out here as well. Once again, just kind of like leaning on the car, all right?
Where's your side mirror at? Didn't come with one?
He lost it on the sideway.
I don't need 'em. He said he lost out on the highway.
Yeah. So let's see.
No glass.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep the glasses. I like it with this one. You know what? Maybe let's see, because now we're kind of blocking the car a bit.
Space out a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Jesse, I'll have you come over here. Maybe I'll have you like right here in front as well, just hanging out. All right. I think it works. I think it works. All right. So yeah, once again, very relaxed shot, very wide. I don't really see what's going on. Just hanging out. All right. So I'll have you all just looking right at each other. All right, we're gonna try something a little bit different. David, I'll have you come out this way with me. More. Right there. That's good. All right. Jesse, I'll have you kind of step off to the side just a bit, right there. In a little bit. You got it. And then I'll have you two also take like a step that way. That's good. Yep, just like that. You guys got it. You guys got it. All right, David, I'm going to have you kind of turn your body a little bit that way. Yep. A little bit less. A little bit less. Yeah, right there. That's good. All right. Holding on to your drink. You're enjoying it, right? Picky out, as always. All right. And let me see. Maybe even a little bit closer to me.
Too much?
No. I like that. Just right there. All right. So just standing nice and tall. You're just enjoying yourself a nice cocktail, right? Nice little drink. I'll have you go ahead and take a drink for me. There you go. Oh, he's got the pinky and everything out. That's the shot right there. Let me try one more.
Done this before.
You do a lot of drinking before wedding days? Is that what you're saying? You got married quite a few times?
17th, right? They're all paying shots.
Perfect. All right, I'll have you put the drink down and just looking right at me. Just nice and strong. Glass up just a little bit higher. There you go, right there. Now look back at the guys.
Strong man right there.
Yeah, what's up? Now back at me. That's it. That's the one. I love it. Perfect. Nice and easy. You want to see it?
Yeah, I do actually.
That one turned out pretty good. It's kind of dim right there.
That's the Facebook
screen.
profile
Right? Cool. You probably just leave the car here.
I was going to say, you want the girls to do their thing? I can give you the key.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea.
And like,
But probably not. I think with the wind, probably not. What time is it now? 12:48. So yeah, I gotta go in there.
Okay.
Get with them.
All right.
Yeah, I would say if you just want to take the car back, that's good.
Cool.
You guys still got the drinks over there, the crowns over there.
All right.
And then you guys are set.
All right.
All right.
Done?
Thanks,
all right,
man.
brother. Thank you. We have the schedule.
All right, now that I am done with the guys, I go inside to photograph the girls, and I find that they are not ready for photos. So to maximize my time, I walked around and I found a place to take a photo of the dress and had one of the bridesmaids help me with that. So when shooting the dress or jewelry, I always have a member of the wedding party there with me, because if anything gets broken or lost, I'm not going to be blamed for it. And it really helps to also get to know a member of the bridal party a bit more, which helps them open up later. They're more willing to help you later if you need something. And here is a pro tip for you. Go buy yourself a nice wooden hanger. I cannot tell you how cheap it looks for a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 dress to be hanging from a cheap plastic hanger. I think you can get like a 4-pack of these wooden hangers that look great from Target or wherever for like $10. They're probably cheaper on Amazon. So yeah, again, the plastic hanger, it just does not match the photo. And second, go buy yourself a light duty. It's called a light duty, either 3 or 4-inch spring clamp. Light duty spring clamp. And these are great to pull in the back of the dress. So when a wedding dress is hanging on a hanger, it's flat. It's laying flat. And it never looks flattering. It's very unflattering, actually. So these spring clamps kind of hold together the back of the dress. And it gives the dress just a little bit more definition. And, it's like $2 or $3 for one of these clamps. And as you're going to hear, you would not believe how much this $2 clamp really makes you look like a true professional to the bridesmaids.
Wait, there's a kid. Hold on. Oh, back down.
Hello.
Okay. Didn't want to get him hit.
Of course. All right, I'm going to scoot right over here.
Nope, you stay here.
Okay. Let's see. So we have this.
So what should I do with this? Let this put it on the strings?
Yep.
What looks best for you?
What is, so this is a strapless dress?
Oh, baby.
Okay. Yep. We'll do the strings here. And then if you could hold.
Is it this one?
Here?
Yes. So what I have is some clips.
You know what's up.
You want to bring the back a little closer together.
Got it.
And then I'll give you the clip right here, and then you can just clip it.
Oh, it's so strong.
Right? Wedding dresses are heavy. You'd be surprised. Okay. See? Look at that. Now it fits. Okay.
Do you want it on that window?
I think so, yeah.
Do you need me to move all of our dresses? I can find a new spot.
I kind of like how it is right now. I like the lived-in look.
Actually,
Should we take our tags off the dresses?
No, I don't think right now. Maybe that one just right there. But other than that, I kind of like the shot just the way that it is.
Let me hold you. You're asleep.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get.
So this is where I take photos of the dress. I always make sure to grab a wide shot where I can see where it's hanging, more of an environmental photo, both in landscape and in portrait, just so that there's some variety for the album. And then I come in close to capture just a lot of the detail shots, 5, 10 or so. There's lots of intricate, designs within a wedding dress, and the more of those that you can photograph, the better. Okay.
And then she has another one for her other daughter. Oh, it's in here. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, I think we'll just take just the dress photo by itself. Okay. Everything else I'll get, obviously, while everybody's wearing it.
Okay.
I think before she gets in the dress, though, do you know if she has all of... Hey.
I just changed her.
All of the ring, all the details, all the small stuff.
Oh, yeah, that you want to take pictures of the rings and stuff. Okay.
I do have the...
I'm gonna grab my camera real quick.
I do have the box.
You need
my real ring too in there
Yeah.
with the band?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know which way you want to put it in there with it, but...
Okay. That's perfect. Just like that.
And then do you need like her flower? Were you wanting to do like flower photos?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll just take these photos.
A little bit.
Okay. I might just do them right here. I can get in close enough.
Mariah's here.
Okay.
Here right now. Or she's been doing it. Hannah's started Keegan's hair.
Okay.
And then all she has to do left on me is just my bottom lashes and then the airbrush.
Okay.
Which we can even wait for that if he wants to go ahead and get the back of our robes.
Okay.
And then she just needs to do all your guys' makeup.
Yeah, it should be fast probably. She's got like an
I just
hour.
hope she doesn't do like the full thing with mine just because of time.
Yeah.
Which I
Well,
think
you'll get
she'll
first
do,
priority.
All right. So the bridesmaid actually walks out while I was shooting the jewelry here. So when I'm done, I take the jewelry, I put it in my hands, and I walk down to the bride and I ask very directly, who should I give these to hold on to? Again, this is, to make it clear that I no longer have the jewelry. The rings actually did get lost later, just for a moment. But if I had not made it clear that I was giving them to someone specific, it would, be plausible to think that I may have misplaced them. So anyway, keep that in mind. Always either keep somebody next to you while you're photographing the dress and the jewelry, or be very direct in saying, who do you want me to give these to? So next, the bride walks back in to get into her dress, and this is where you take photos of the bride getting in her dress. And after listening to the clip, it was just the bride and her mother talking the whole time. So you hear a few shutter clicks. So I decided not to include it in here because it's just kind of a personal conversation. So I don't really give much direction at all when the bride is getting in her dress. I just find a spot that looks good before she gets in the dress, and then I ask the bride to stand there as I take photos. I typically get the wide, a medium close-up of the bride looking at herself in the mirror, and then wide and close-ups of mom zipping up the dress or lacing up the dress, whatever it is, and then the mom and the bride sharing a moment, hugging, and that's really about it. That's the moment there. One thing to note, though, is that not all brides exude like excitement when putting on the dress. Maybe they have a lot on their mind or what have you. So if that happens, you can try a shot where maybe you are behind the bride, and if she's looking in the mirror, put your focus point on the back of the dress so that her face is not the main focus of the photo. And then when it's laced up and zipped up or whatever, then you ask the mom of the bride to, look at each other, look at the dress, have them hug, and there will be a smile in there, I promise. And when that moment happens, just make sure that you are zoomed in, you're nice and tight for that shot. So now it is time for the ceremony to start. Now, at the beginning of the ceremony, I always start up front where the mother of the bride will be, because that gives me a good shot of people coming down the aisle. So we have the groom and the officiant walking down the aisle, followed by grandparents. There were 3 sets of parents, so they all came down. That took a while. And when this is happening, I keep my camera in continuous autofocus mode so that it tracks the people walking, keeping them in focus. Yeah, you just got to make sure that your shutter speed is quick enough to also freeze the people walking. Typically, 1/25th of a second should be fine, but to err on the side of caution, it'd probably be better to be shooting at 1/250th of a second. And then at this point, the bridal party starts to come on down. And then here come the ring bearers, followed by the bride and her dad. Right now I am focused on the groom to get his reaction as the doors open up for the bride to come on down. I typically find that getting photos right as the doors open don't really look too good, or when the bride and the father are at the end of the aisle, it doesn't look super good. So that way I grab a photo of the groom and his reaction, and then by that point, then the bride and her father are about halfway down the aisle, and then that's where I start to take photos. At this point, I also have 2 cameras on me, one with the 70-200 to get that reach, and then the other one with a 35mm lens for when they get close, and I can't back up enough.
Honored guests and family, we are gathered together in the sight of God and join David and Kristen in marriage. Marriage is a sacred and joyous covenant. Who gives this woman to be married to this man?
Her mother and myself.
Right now, I'm still up at the front of the pews so that I can capture the transition from father to groom to be as the bride walks up on the stage. Once the couple gets up on the stage and the ceremony, I guess, officially starts, and he says, "You may be seated," that's when I kind of take a few steps and start to only hang out on the sides of the stage or the back of the church.
You must give the same sacrificial love to each other. And above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Here, as an outer garment.
Before I head to the back of the church and get kind of a wide shot, I make sure that while I'm still, facing the groom, essentially, that I can get a photo of his reaction, either, him looking at his wife or him looking at the officiant, but some sort of emotion. I want to get that. And then after I do get that, then I head to the back of the church, right past the last aisle, go back to that 35mm lens and get a nice wide shot of the ceremony.
Motive will exist, and you'll be giving in order to get. Your relationship will become a 50-50 deal-making relationship. And all of those other qualities will not be developed. You must love each other in the same way, with an agape love, with an unconditional love.
Now that I capture the back of the church, I move off to the right side so that I can photograph towards the bride and get, again, her reaction, some sort of emotion going on in her face, either looking at her groom-to-be, having some sort of reaction. I also then take individual photos of each of the bridal party as well. So in this case, all the bridesmaids, since they're on this side. This is a great, because again, then they can get that emotion as well. I can get a photo of maybe a tear coming out, or them paying attention, or them excited, what have you, because they are part of the wedding as well. It's not just about the bride and the groom, but the people who they surround themselves with. So getting a photo of the entire bridal party and individual photos of each of them, as well as the bride and groom, is also very important.
Kristen, there will be many times that you'll have to love David this way. You get that, David? You understand? Yeah, I know. You're there. All right. Kristen and David have decided to write their own vows to each other, and so we're going to start with David, okay?
Since the couple are writing their own vows, it's really important to get that one shot from the center. Typically, in the guy's vows, there's going to be something funny, so it's always good to get a shot of, people laughing and everybody up at the altar also laughing as well, getting that emotion. Because remember, it's that moment that matters. It's not that we're just all here together at the same time. It's that there's a moment happening. So when everybody laughs, that's the moment. So you wait, you put yourself in the right position. There it is. There's the laugh. You get the shot, and then you move on. This is where I move on to the left side of the church again so that I can photograph him more straight on, as well as getting the reactions from and individual photos of all of the groomsmen too.
I promise to always stay loyal to you. I promise to respect and understand you each day of my life.
I've watched you grow into being
Now that it's time for her vows, once again, I go to the right side of the church to photograph her more directly. Now that I think about it, it might be kind of difficult to figure out, like, how do you know, when these things are happening, and how do you not get in people's way? And those are great questions to be thinking of. So before every wedding, I make sure that I can meet with the officiant, like the day of, obviously, right before the ceremony, not before the wedding day. And I, introduce myself, and we talk, and I try to get a layout of how the ceremony will flow, kind of how long it might be, what are the main points, and then I ask for, like, what happens right before you say, you may kiss the bride or whatever. And then typically I find that, if I'm off to the left or to the right, then if I hear this thing happening, like, oh, I'm going to say something about, whatever, then I know to get back to the back of the church, right down the center, to get that first kiss, because you don't want to be off to the side. That happened to me once, and it's just not the best photo. You'd much rather be in the center of the aisle. And then as far as, like, not disturbing anybody, like I said, at the beginning of the ceremony, I'll be up at the front, like where the mother of the bride will be, so that I can photograph people coming down the aisle. But aside from that, I'm either off to the side or in the back of the church. I never walk in front. I never walk behind the couple, even if it's an outdoor wedding, because I believe that the couple invited everybody here today to witness their ceremony. And for me to get in the way, to be a nuisance during something like that, to take away attention from the couple, is not something that I want to do. So I just make sure to either stay off to the sides or in the back of the church. Now, at this point, I have pretty much got everything that I need. I got photos of the bridal party, individual shots. I got, side photos of the bride, the groom, the officiant. I got photos at the end of the aisle. I got photos of the vows. I got photos of them exchanging the rings. At this point, I got everything that I need to tell the story of the ceremony. So I just head to the back of the church and kind of camp out there, right? I have the camera ready just in case anything happens, and as you can hear, I still take a few photos, but essentially now it's just waiting for the kiss to come, and then when that happens, then I'm all good to go. I don't feel like there's any need to take additional photos when you know that you got it.
And marriage is one of the strongest ways that we show that. Well, as a minister of the Church of Christ, and by the authority which the state has vested in me, I now pronounce you, David and Kristen, husband and wife, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
So this is where I'm in the center of the aisle. I am all the way at the back. I'm zoomed in all the way with my 70-200. The focus is ready. It's on, fast mode to take photos. Fast mode. Technically, it's continuous high on Fuji. Take a bunch of photos as they kiss. Try to do a landscape, try to do a portrait, and then I put that camera down, grab the other camera with the 35mm lens on as they start walking towards me. As they start walking towards me, take a few photos. Typically, this is when they're going to look in the audience and say, yay, we did it, things like that. They might fist pump. And then as they're about halfway down the aisle, I will look at them and say, going for a kiss, as you just heard. Then they go in for a kiss. I got it. And then they walk right past me. And then the ceremony's over. And now I just photograph the people walking down the aisle to get those photos. And that's it. That was the ceremony. All right, now that the ceremony is over, it is time to head outside for bridal portraits. This is where we grab photos of the whole bridal party. I already photographed the guys, so I also need to grab individual photos of the girls and then couple portraits as well. And I was very relieved that there was no rain outside, so we took full advantage of that. However, there was a lot of wind. So, Kristen, I'll have you pretty much just right here on this first step, looking towards me. All right? I love that, just the way that it is, how it was all kind of wrapped around like that. Yep. So, and then, yep, and then each pairing, whoever we went up down the aisle with, will come up there.
Oh, behind me in order. Jesse!
Or you know what? You two are married, right?
Yeah.
Or you two? Okay. Yeah. So then I'll just have you two stand together. Same with Sam and Jesse, and then I'll have you two together up there.
Like people I have relations with?
Might as well, right?
And that's not right.
David, I'm going to have you come down right here, all right? You're going to get your feet under the dress there.
Under the dress, because we want it. I'm working on it.
Let's see. I'll have you four take maybe one step back, go up one step. We'll see how that works. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll actually have you come in maybe just right here. Yeah, take half that step right there. No, half step back. Yeah, you don't have to be leaning on the rail. And then I'll have you come behind. Yep, just like that, all right? And I'm gonna be right here. So, you know what? I was wrong. I'm gonna have you right here on the railing, all right? Then everybody's just looking right here. And 1, 2, David, hand in the pocket. We'll wait for the wind, we'll wait for the wind. And 1, here it comes. 1, 2, 3. Woo, okay, David, Kristen, going for a kiss for me?
Okay.
Woo, yeah, now everybody, yeah! So once again, everybody looking right here, and Kristen, I'll have you hold your flowers down. Maybe even hold them down like that, like, yep, point them down. Okay, we'll kind of hold them up, but keep, yep, just like that. Yep, just like that. It feels weird. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Ladies, I'll have everybody kind of fix the hair real quick before the wind comes back. All right, and 1, 2, and 3. Just like that, perfect. Kristen, I'll have you put your hand around David. 1, 2, 3, we'll get it before the wind comes. I think we got it, perfect. All right, now we'll do one more down here, all right? Kristen, David, I'll have you two probably just standing right here. When it comes to group photos, I really try to keep it nice and easy. We start off relaxed, everyone just hanging out, you know, looking at each other. And then we do a formal photo, everybody looking at the camera, looking a little bit more serious, looking a little bit more happy. And then I try to get a few variations. So we did this photo on the stairs because it was a good composition. And then we also did it down on ground level. Now, if I had more time, I would have loved to have taken them somewhere nature-y, but it didn't work out. Okay. Yeah, we just do boy, girl, whatever's easiest. So maybe I'll have you two on this side, all right? And then I'll have you come on in here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have Jesse first. There you go, perfect. And we're gonna get nice and close. We're just hanging out, okay? Yeah, this is the Vogue photo right here, all right? That's what this is. Yeah, oh, I like that a lot. So yeah, I would just say, yeah, just looking at me right here, very Vogue. Very serious, we're all models. This is the best day of our lives type look. That's it, that's the one. All right, now this one's a little bit more formal. All right, guys, hands in the pockets, you guys are good. Jesse, we'll do thumbs out, yep. And then nice and tall, nice and strong, right? We'll wait for the wind to die down. It's a lot of wind, but there's no rain. So, whatever, yeah.
Rain today, so that's good luck for the wind.
There you go. And 1, 2, and 3, right there, perfect. I love it, you guys look good. And then now just looking at each other, everybody's having a good time. We're all laughing. Going for a kiss for me? Going, David, Kristen, going for a kiss?
Don't be weird.
No kiss, okay, woo! There it is, perfect. And now everybody scream, hold up the bouquets. Yeah, we did it, yes. Love it, awesome. That's what Photoshop is for. It's okay, we're good. Yeah, we're good. So now I think I just need you girls, right? Because I already got all the guys.
You want more of us girls?
Yes, okay, absolutely.
Do you want David to stay for our photos? Or what do you want to do? You want to do those?
Yeah, so yeah, once we finish up with girls, then we will just do bridal party. Perfect. All right, all the guys, I'll have you guys come over here, maybe over by the grass. I think if we, I think that the wind, if we go over here, it might be easier to get up if it's difficult. Yeah. Forgot to bring my leaf blower today. With all of the wind from the past few days, there were leaves everywhere, all over the ground. And the bride's dress was kind of lacy, so it was a real leaf magnet, right? They were all getting stuck in there. So we had to walk up onto a grassy patch to take some photos of the girls. So, you know, just do your best to try to help out by clearing a path for the leaves. Just with your shoes, just knock them out of the way. You know, you're not going to get them all, but, you know, just making a small path really does make a big difference in their eyes. And it saves you a lot of Photoshop time from having to remove those leaves from the dress later on as well. So there we go. We'll all have our flowers kind of down a bit more. And of course, here comes the wind. Let's see. And 1, 2, and 3. We get one more. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Perfect. Okay. So now, Kristen, I'm going to have you stay right there. All right. We're going to do photos with each of you with Kristen. All right. So I'll have you start since you're already in the perfect position. Okay. I'll have you two come off to the side here. Okay. I'll have you two face me right here. And 1, 2, yeah, we'll bring the flowers down a bit more. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll have you come out. I'll have you go in next. All right, are we ready? Once the wind dies down. All right, yes, perfect. All right, 1, 2, and before the wind comes, I think I got it. I did, yep. Okay, perfect. No, sorry, stay right there. Yep. Yeah, Kristen doesn't move. Okay. We'll get Sam back in, and this is our chance right here. And 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Perfect. Go ahead and look at each other. Stare into each other's eyes.
It's just like at your wedding where we were like,
Only you were like this.
This is my favorite photos. We're looking at each other.
Yes. Okay, no, we're done now. Perfect. Thank you.
You're finally married like me.
Awesome. Okay, while we're right here, I think this is a good spot. I'll just grab a few photos of you. And then, are there any other photos with the bridal party that you have a picture?
Any of like you and the girls.
Oh no, that he's saying the bridal party.
Oh.
I think we're good on the bridal party. I think.
You want me to floof you?
So now that I got individual photos of all the girls and a group shot of all of them together, now it's time for just the bride. So I start wide, get photos of the bride looking around, get a few variations, environmental, and then I start to get closer, photograph things like the flowers, her makeup, her earrings, her necklace, her eyelashes, pretty much everything that she spent money on. You made it. We did it. I'll have you look down at your flowers for me. Okay, and actually I'm going to get in a little bit closer. And can I have you bring your flowers up a bit for me? I know it'll feel weird. Yep, keep looking down at them. And maybe even down a little bit more. Get those eyelashes looking good. Perfect. And then just with your eyes, look right at me. There you go. That's the one. Perfect. Okay, so I'll have you pull them back down. I'll have you pull them back down. All right. So now I will have you looking, let's see. So looking right at me, looking happy, right? Wedding day. Now look back at the girls. Girls are now the support team, right? Looking back. Woo! Yeah, perfect. And then I will have you just kind of looking maybe off into the distance that way, all right?
That dog kennel.
Perfect. And then one more looking just right back at me right here. There you go. And then, I'm sorry, one off looking at the kennel over there. The wedding kennel, we'll call that one. Perfect. Okay, now you can stay right there. I'm gonna kind of walk around you, take a few photos of some details. Okay. Flowers look so cool. Perfect, and actually while I'm here, I will have you hold, up the charm. Yep, just like that. I will have you, no, just lower. Yep, right there. That is perfect. 1, 2, got it. And then can you turn it around for me as well so that I can see the borrowed charm? Just like that. Awesome. Love it. Okay, stay right there.
Can you go in? Sorry.
Take a few photos of your earrings, your necklace. All right.
You just want me kind of like me looking off?
Yep, just looking off. That works.
I got 3 more to work with? Okay, good.
I'll have you just... And that is where the battery on my GoPro died, so I have no more audio. I did swap out batteries when we went back inside, and I recorded the reception as well, but after listening to it, it was just music, so I cut it out. So that means that we're just going to jump straight to the end of the night when I get into my car and share my final thoughts of the evening. Wedding's over. Back at the car. Initial thoughts for things in my control. So the day felt, I said earlier in the day, like, we're gonna have so much time to do stuff. There's gonna be like tons of waiting around. And I wasn't wrong that there was a lot of time scheduled for stuff, but stuff just took forever. So I'm shocked, but everything was properly, the time was properly budgeted. So that is kind of crazy to think about. So as far as that goes, things in my control, how do I feel I did? I do this after every wedding. What were the good things? What were the bad things? What can be improved upon next time? So I'm going to start with the good things. What do I feel went well? So I said that I was worried about my flashes, and actually I didn't even use them. I had one on camera, but even though there were no windows downstairs for the reception, there were tons of lights, and the lights looked pretty good. Now, sure, I had to shoot everything at a 30th of a second, dancing and stuff, so I really tried to stay at a 60th of a second, even though the photos were clearly underexposed. I think I can save them in Lightroom. That shouldn't be a problem. I like to get it properly exposed in camera, but this is what I had to deal with. If I didn't have my flashes to add extra exposure, I had to shoot everything underexposed so that at least then they were still sharp from a shutter speed perspective, and I'm gonna have to do my best in post to brighten them up. So that was did I say that was good, or did I say that was bad? I think I said that was good. That was good that I was able to, at least initial reaction, get good enough photos without using the flash. All right, update. After the cull, way too many photos were blurry from the lack of flash. I'm not happy about that at all. Not good. I did get enough photos that were in focus and had a fast enough shutter speed that it was frozen that it's not going to be an issue. But I did miss way more shots than I thought I did. So don't shoot a wedding without flash. Seriously. I mean, you're going to get 40, 50, 60% more keepers from a reception when you use a flash, and the light just looks 100 times better. This was 100% my mistake. What else was good? I feel like, even though this whole thing was indoors and not a lot of natural light, the place had some pretty good lights and in good locations. So I feel like I was able to get some pretty decent photos with a decent exposure without having to use too much flash. I still tried to keep the flash on my camera for all of the getting ready stuff, because you walk in and you're just like, you just have this preconceived idea that it's going to be all fluorescent, that it's all going to be bad. And I wasn't totally wrong, but I tried to overpower all of the, not natural light, but the artificial light that was just naturally occurring inside of the church. So I tried to overpower it with my flash. But once I kind of gave in to the natural light that was there, things kind of felt better. So that was a good thing. One thing that I can do is be less critical of the light that is there. Maybe critical isn't the right word. I should be more open to testing the light that is there, because even though I've shot well over 100 weddings, there are still times where I'm surprised by light. I don't have the perfect light trained eyes. So I need to be more open to testing out the light that is available to just see how it looks in photos before I introduce flash, instead of just saying, I'm just going to use flash all the time and go from there. But I think that the photos are going to turn out better because of it. What went bad? There was some, I don't want to say miscommunication between me and the bride, but I could have done more on my part to educate her on what family photos look like, right? Because what I found was that the family photos took 100 years, because her list, the bride's list, just said things like bride plus parents. Well, she had 3 sets of parents? Two sets of parents. And then he had a set of parents as well. So and then the mom didn't know exactly who was helping me. The mom who was helping me call out names didn't know, does that mean all the sets of parents plus the bride and groom? And at the end, I had to be like, let's do individual families, and then we'll do one giant group photo. But if we do all the individual families first, like the Smith family, and then I guess that's a bad example, but if we do one side of the family and then the other side of the family and then his family, then people feel more connected to those photos. They're like, these are my people, not these are all the people. The only people who want photos of everybody at the wedding are the bride and groom. So I got to think about the other family members who are at the wedding and that they might want to buy prints of these family photos, and therefore they want photos of just them. So I could have been more clear about that. Second thing, the daughter was very young. I told you, toddler, earlier. I said that she had fell asleep during the ceremony, which was kind of cute. But that meant that when we did family photos, nobody wanted to wake her. So I said, okay, make sure that I get a photo of the bride and groom and then their 2 kids before I leave. Get a photo of the bride and groom with their 2 kids before I leave. Well, about 7 o'clock, so I still had an hour left. Things had started to... There started to be less activities for the reception. Like we had done the dinner, we had done the toast, the first dance, all these sorts of things. And I said, so it started to just become like open dance floor. And I said, okay, I went up to the bride and I said, I would be a terrible photographer if I didn't get a photo of you 2 and your 2 girls. And she looked at me like in horror because she had just sent the girls home with her in-laws. And she's like, what? She was upset. She said, oh my God, I'm the worst mother. And so obviously, she didn't blame me directly, which was a good thing. But honestly, that is 100% my fault. That was not, there's so many moving parts on a wedding day that to expect her to remember all of those things and still have a good time is ridiculous. That's 100% my fault. And unfortunately, I dropped the ball on that one. So at this wedding, I didn't get a photo of the bride and the groom and their 2 girls. Outside of that... A little interesting observation that I found today. So I actually shot this wedding with the Fuji's version of a 24-70. And if you've been listening to the podcast for any length of time, you know that I am a big fan of prime lenses. And I've been shooting weddings on prime lenses for the past 10 years. And I feel that when it comes to zooms, they made me a lazy photographer. I just kind of stood in a corner and could zoom in and, whatever. So that's why I like primes, because they force me to think more photographically. And I would say that that's still the case a bit. When I shoot with the equivalent of a 35 and an 85, when I have the 35 on, you get your photo and then you think, okay, it'd be nice to have a tighter version of it with the 85. But if it's in your bag, and I'll be honest, sometimes that laziness creeps in and you just don't change lenses. And then you just end up getting closer to the action. And those photos typically get a little bit better, but they're still not, a photo changes when you change the focal length. The relationship that you have with your subject and the surroundings, it changes. So today what I found was with the 24-70, I might start wide like I normally would, but then instead of just getting closer, I was able to zoom in, which I did find helpful because now I don't have to crop in as much. And I think that the photos are going to benefit because of it, because I was able to get more tighter shots. I was able to fill the frame more. I'm going to have to do less cropping. So again, I feel like the photos are going to benefit because of it, but I didn't feel the same creatively as I do when I shoot with primes. When you're forced to either get closer or further away with your feet, step closer, step further back, or change lenses, that is a different relationship that you have with your photos and or capturing the photos in your surroundings. And I like that because, again, it makes me feel like I'm in control of the image that I'm capturing, and it forces me to get closer 9 times out of 10. So I don't think that it was a bad thing. I don't think that it was a good thing. It was just an observation. The photos might be slightly better because of it, but while I was shooting, I just felt less connected. So the next step is to go home, and tonight I still have work because I'm going to load the photos onto my computer so that they could back up to my cloud service, Backblaze, overnight while I'm asleep, and then in the morning they can be imported into Lightroom to start their initial cull before I start editing. But it is super important that even on your drive home, make sure that those memory cards are on your person. Not in the cameras, not in the trunk, on your person. Because, trust me, sometimes late wedding, you get home and you bring in the camera bag, but you forgot that you also put the second camera body in the rolling suitcase and you leave it in the car overnight. And I've never had a problem losing a camera or data or anything like that. But I think it's because I take these precautions. Keep the memory cards on you so that you don't have a mistake.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Beginner Photography Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend. Start a conversation. Grow together. That is it for this week. Remember, the more that you shoot today, the better of a photographer you will be tomorrow. Talk soon.
Thank you for listening to the Beginner Photography Podcast. Keep shooting, and we'll see you next week.